Welcome to another day in the Matrix, waters above crypto, sending you all love and high vibrations. Did you see that full moon last night? It's probably one of the most beautiful ones I've ever seen. I felt like I was in the Truman Show, even though I probably am. So today we're going to be doing a quick update on what's going on for Bitcoin and XRP and what to expect leading into this weekend. If you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria Numerology and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious people to help grow this community. Also, I'm currently running a sale on my Mastermind course until the end of this month. For those of you who want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, you can join my Mastermind course with the promo code in the pinned comment below to get a discount. My email is in the description box to get in contact with me for access to the course. And also, I'm planning on doing a live stream tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. And I'll also be doing my Red Pill episode technical analysis podcast on Sunday for the members of the Mastermind community. We'll be doing a bunch of different altcoin technical analysis that the patrons suggest. And I'm looking forward to discussing the buying opportunities I'm seeing in this market. So, with that being said, let's take the red pill. Let's get it going with a little bit of Gematria. So when we type out the date 6/25/2021, we're getting that beautiful number 18 that I always talk about, which comes back to Venus. And of course, today is Friday, which is Viernes, or the day of Venus, and we get that 18. And another thing we're getting is this 25 in Chaldean, like today is June 25th, and this 25 number comes back into both Venus and Bitcoin with the ticker BTC with the 25. So another thing we could also do is we could add up the number of the date as such, 6 plus 25 plus 20 plus 21, and we're getting that 72 just like Bitcoin, and also we're getting the 27 in Venus as above, so below. Remember, everything is mirrored here. So we're getting a lot of confluence here. And also today would be the day after that full moon. With the full moon, we're getting that 108, and that 108 without the 0 would be the 18. You could do that with the rules of numerology before reduction. And another thing we're getting is this 36 in full moon, just like Bitcoin. And people have been wondering why this moon cycle works so well with Bitcoin. Well, it's because it's following the moon. And it's kind of ironic, actually, this terminology of going to the moon with cryptocurrency, and just, how sort of overlooked such an important statement might actually be. If people weren't looking at it from such a childish, unsophisticated perspective, they would actually be pretty open-minded to one of the greatest indicators of all time, which is simply just looking at the moon cycles. Now, another thing I've been telling everyone to basically be prepared for was this bearish energy around the full moon, and this full moon in particular because we had the 174th day yesterday and also the 177th day on June 27th, right? So this comes back to New World Order with the 177, right? And somebody was mentioning to me that it is not the 177th day. And let me just quickly show you how it actually is. So if I measure here from the 1st of January over to the 27th of June, we're getting 177. And that 177 comes back to New World Order. And I was also mentioning this because it's typically around 4 or 5 days surrounding a new moon or surrounding a full moon, we typically get bullish or bearish energy accordingly. So again, full moon equals bearish, new moon equals bullish. So let's get into the charts. I do want to start with Bitcoin, the energy of this sector. Got a lot of indicators going, so I'm going to shut off most of those actually because they're unimportant at this time. Volume has been pretty low, and it's just another week in the matrix. So we have my favorite resistance line, which is this curve arc. I call it the firmament. And if I was to extend this line on both left and right, it's actually pretty amazing how well it works. On the left side, you could go right here to settings, and I could extend left line, and look at this, amazing. touch point right there. And this October 12th was when the market started to move into this parabolic advance. It's pretty amazing to see such a thing. Anyways, one of the things that we're getting right now is this move to the downside. And I brought up in my previous video that we could be actually repeating the fractal of back here in January when we had this touchdown on the 22nd, the low, and then we came back into the 27th for another low. Now that would be perfectly confluent with what I've been talking about with the date of the 27th and that 177th day of the year. So let's quickly look into that. That'll be a Sunday. That's this coming Sunday. It's 2 days from today. Now, I do think that that's possible. Again, anything's possible in the matrix. We could even get a touchdown below 30,000 again really quickly, and probably just a big wick back to the upside, reversal leading into the next week. So one of the things we do have going on tonight is a 2-day closure across the board for everything. And this 2-day closure would be fantastic if we got above this 32,000 level, particularly 32,500 would be really nice. And if I bring up some of my moving averages, we're seeing that we're getting a very nice support right here on this 200 EMA on the 2-day. It's pretty solid to be holding that support, but again, with all these moving averages above sloping to the downside, this is very bearish. And I've been bringing this up, how this market, since this exaggerated sell-off, has been looking extremely bearish, and that's why we're seeing lower lows week after week. And we've actually been trading since this low almost 40 days now. So this is pretty long time to be in this very low beaten down phase, considering that typically when a bull market ends, it gets a knee jerk to the upside much higher than you would expect, and then it crumbles down for a dead cat bounce. A lot of people have been talking to me about this Wyckoff spring, how this move right here, this V shape, let me remove all these indicators. I'll actually just remove everything to quickly discuss how I feel about that. And it might be best to turn to line or area. Yeah, okay. So basically what people are trying to do is a short-term Wyckoff where they're saying these are the selling climaxes of the supply test, then you have your automatic rally, then this was the spring, and this was the test in the spring. I do not believe that. I don't really care right now about a short-term accumulation cycle. I'm looking at this from a perspective of the next 6 months. And I've told you guys many times, I believe that this distributional top followed by a prolonged sideways choppy market would be indicative of something called a reaccumulation after decline. And a reaccumulation after decline, it'll have a, as long as the market top was going on, you'll have that market reaccumulation area. So if you go from here, if you just wanted to do peaks, I would actually really like to do from right here over here to about right there, 100 days. That's actually shorter, but just for fun, let's show you about how long this could take. If I go 100 days out, we're looking about till the end of August. Now, you guys have heard me say this time and time again. Expect the whole summer, in this hemisphere at least, in the USA, to be bearish. And it's going to be choppy and weird. And we might go up to 50K really quickly, then get smacked back down. Basically, you want to anticipate that sort of stuff. And it's a trader's world right now. This is not a hodler's game. It's not going to feel good to be a hodler until the fall time, until late October and November. But at this time, it's all accumulation in my opinion. Whenever we see Bitcoin go below 33,000, it's accumulation time for everything. Everything. Your favorite altcoin gets completely destroyed during times like this. So it's very important that we focus on accumulation. Again, this isn't me telling you to buy right now. This is just me letting you know about when people are bringing up this idea of a $24,000 Bitcoin or a $23,000 Bitcoin or whatever. Although that's possible, because anything is possible, I don't see that in my analysis. If we were to head to those levels, it has to happen pretty much next month. And if it happens, we usually would have a extremely high move to the upside before that happens. So right now, the fact that we've been chopping sideways for like 40 days and we're still holding this support around 30,000, it's telling me that things are pretty much settled here. This is the bottom. And again, right back here, we had this 42,000 down right there, fake out, bull trap, excuse me. Then this bull trap moved to the downside, and then we had this double bottom fake out. I told you this double bottom fake out's in the cards. It could even hit us a little later, like the 29th or 30th. That would be really, really weird. And then just basically once the month starts, it pumps to the upside. If you see right here, when we broke out, you see this little back test area around the 1st of February. That could totally happen. We could bottom down, get to 30,000, over the weekend, then pop right back up, and then right into the first or second back test around 33K, and then head on to new highs. That would be statistically what's more likely. Even though we're in a bearish pattern, since we're making new lower lows, if you look right here on the area chart, there is a case for a descending broadening wedge. Something like this. So descending broadening wedge is in the cards if you were to just it's really hard to tell, because right now we have this outlier right here, which was this spike to the upside, and that was just manipulation moving up. But I do believe that this would be a descending broadening wedge, given that this move right here was somewhat of an anomaly. It was a push into that new moon directly after that solar eclipse. So remember, I was telling you, expect around the solar eclipse we're going to move bullish because it's a new moon. But what happened was right down to the day before, it was super bearish. We made a lower low, and then literally right after that energy cleared out, the price pumped. And this is on the candle bodies, I believe. So if I go to candles, the price pumped from the 8th all the way up 33%, $10,000 move for Bitcoin. So it was just exuberance is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so one other thing to give a little bit of confluence into this idea of Monday after the 27th. So the 28th is Monday, I believe, correct? This 28th could be something to look out for because of a couple things that I found. One being, if I type out the date as such, being 6/28/2021, we're getting that 21, kind of like moon has the 21. And then also if we add up the date, click the wrong button. If I add up the date as 6 plus 28 plus 20 plus 21, we're getting that 75. Again, as above, so below, 57 in moon. And why am I bringing up the moon? Because it's a Monday, the day of the moon, moon day. Okay, so this would also be indicative of surpassing 4 days after a moon cycle to reset the energy. All right, so before we move into the XRP chart, please give this video a thumbs up, give this video a like, comment a red pill moment. I would love to hear some of your guys' red pill moments before I do my live stream tonight, because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're not going to be talking about the charts, because we need to talk about conscious, enlightened, high vibrational stuff. Okay, so let's move into XRP. And we're going to be seeing very similar action to Bitcoin. Again, a couple days ago, I was mentioning that I believe that 51 cents was the bottom. I'll touch on that in a second. But what we're seeing right here was actually, I believe, a failure of the 8 EMA on the daily. Yep, it sure was. So the last 2 days, we've been getting rejected off this 8 EMA. That's pretty much what to expect, especially around a full moon. And it's going to be following Bitcoin like clockwork, essentially. So one other thing, we have that 2-day closure. I also believe that will be supported by the 200 EMA. Yes, it will be. Okay, so I would say that as long as XRP can hold this 2-day above this 62 cent level, that'd be good. That'd be a sign of strength for the most part. This 200 simple moving average is actually moving into that 51 cent level, and that would be indicative of, again, if we were to have a quick flash down to the bottom, just like I mentioned was possible with Bitcoin, it would fulfill that same idea. Now, so besides that, I did mention in a previous video that there's a chance of a flash crash down to 46 cents. I hate using the word crash, but let's just say a flash down to wipe out any exuberant, high leverage, long positions. The 46 idea is because the VPVR is sitting around that 46 cent level, the point of control. You can see it right there, 46.4. And that would be something that I would be anticipating personally. Now, I do think that this is going to be the range. If it does come back down to that, I would anticipate a snapback all the way up to 87. 87, that's a number that's pretty normal for us here in Gematria land, because I believe Ripple is the, so we have 86. That would make a lot of sense. and we have that 85 on the other side. So that 85, 86 cents, right where it comes in, you could see the point of control, 0.86. I would anticipate that's probably the range. So if we do pump to the downside quickly, it's probably going to buy back up pretty quickly. That's what happens with XRP all the time. So keep an eye on that if we do get below that. But I think for the most part, 51 cents is our bottom. So if we do break below the 51 cent level, it will be a quick flash and the candle body will probably still close somewhere above the high 50s level. And pretty par for the course based on previous analysis we've given. I still am looking into mid-July for bullish continuation for everything across the board. The stock market is looking pretty damn good. The dollar was clearly rejected off of that 92.3 level, or we could just call it the 236 fib. I was telling everyone if we're getting this weekly close below this 236 fib, I would just consider this a fake out breakout, which was created by the FOMC meeting last week. I told everyone last week, just give it a week, because after a week, you typically see any of those moves get reversed in the opposite direction. The one thing I would be a little concerned about is this 2-day cross right here on the 55 simple and the 8 simple. That's going to be interesting. So we could flash down to these levels and we need to see how it holds. But again, we've seen crosses bullish on the 2-day, a pump up, and then basically failed rejection. And this failed rejection was on this big trend line right here. We could see 1 touch point, 2 touch points, 3 touch points. So it's an official trend line. We almost got up to it recently, but we couldn't get the juice. So maybe this cross does get us there by the next full moon, or the full moon in August. And that would basically be something like this. So we come down, retest, chop, get our cross into late August, and then we fail again into October, and that would indicate the bull market coming into its finality into November, December, January for some of the altcoins. So anyways, this is a pretty solid analysis update for the day. Not to get too long-winded and go over everything that's happening, I'm planning to do a live stream tonight around 6 p.m. Eastern time zone, as I mentioned earlier in the video. And for those of you who want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, my mastermind course is currently on sale until the end of the month. The pinned comment below will have a promo code to give you a discount, and my email will also be in the description box or the pinned comment below. Definitely a good time to get educated in this market while the market is down, because these are the buying opportunities. So sending you all love, high vibrations, excited to chat with you guys tonight on the live stream. Enjoy the rest of your day in the Matrix. Much love.